What's up? It is the Sports Titan Game Day Live. It is time for the Buddy Allen Carpet One Nashville pregame show for the last time of the regular season. The Tennessee Titans are set to take the field in 30 minutes from now. This one is at Jacksonville as the AFC South title is officially on the line. Austin Stanley, Zach Bingham here live for our Titan Game Day Live pregame, halftime, and postgame show with all of it on the marbles for the Titans to go to the playoffs again under Mike Vrabel, to win the AFC South for the third consecutive season under Mike Vrabel. And with a roster decimated by injuries and Joshua Dobbs leading the way at quarterback with Derrick Henry for the first time, we haven't seen that before. So we're going to have a big night here on Saturday night NFL with A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live, pregame, halftime, and postgame show. We got to thank our sponsors as we stream live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch for the last time of the regular season, playoffs on the line. And we start with Buddy Allen Carpet One because this is the Buddy Allen Carpet One Nashville pregame show. You just go to BuddyAllenCarpet1Nashville.com for all of your flooring needs. They always give you free in-home measures and estimates. Once again, BuddyAllenCarpet1Nashville.com. Mr. Goodroof, go to their website, MrGoodroof.com. You can have a free estimate on your roof. Then mention A to Z Sports for a $500 discount on a full roof replacement at MrGoodroof.com. The Barton Insurance Group, Middle Tennessee's premier insurance provider for both personal, home, and auto coverage, plus small to mid-sized businesses, Barton Insurance Group, LLC.com. Crumble Cookies. Zach's been eating up on that cornbread cookie all weekend long. Download the Crumble Cookie app. And, of course, BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app and use our code ATOZ Sports for risk-free bet on pro football up to $1,000. Zach, this is a big day. We've had a lot of big games that we've done pregame, halftime, postgame shows for over the last several years with A to Z Sports. This one's just as big. It's the third time that we've had a win and in situation with A to Z Sports in our business here. But this one feels real big, and it feels like it could be a pendulum swing for this franchise overall, but a big night here as the Titans are in Duval County.
Yeah, and two teams that are in completely different spots, right? Yeah. The Titans have lost 6 in a row, and the Jags have won 4 in a row and are hosting this game. This is a massive game on Saturday night. The lights are shining bright. All teal versus the Titans. I mean, this is excitement. I mean, I'm looking at the chat. The chat, I think, is excited. They're juiced up. This is great football towards the end of the season, and I hope you gotta have a winner, and we're gonna find out. And it's gonna be a slugfest. I think that's the great part about it. The Titans team that you saw last week with Joshua Dobbs against the Dallas Cowboys is not the same team that you're going to see tonight. Derrick Henry will return. Traylon Burks and Robert Woods will be involved. Chig will be involved. You've got Danico Autry and Jeff Simmons, and the defense has got to play more like they did at the beginning of the season than they have in the last couple of games. And they're trying to get off the snide. I mean, 6 games in a row has got to be pissing them off, right? I mean, and this is when, I tweeted this out earlier, when Mike Vrabel is an underdog, he usually gets his team to play. Now, the unique part about this particular team is it's kind of a shell of what the team is, right? We all know that. The offensive line is not the same offensive line. It's a bad offensive line. Let's call it what it is. They're essentially playing a third-string quarterback that they got off the Detroit Lions practice squad. He had some warm-up time last week in a kind of an all-new offense that didn't involve 22. Now, Todd Downing has a massive responsibility to put Joshua Dobbs in places that he can succeed. You've seen him a week, right? Mm-hmm. You've seen his skill set. How can you combine Derrick Henry and Joshua Dobbs and the things that they do in front of a poor offensive line? The wide receivers can't drop footballs. They got to play a good game tonight. You know, this is win and get in. This is the season, right? This is huge. Yeah. And so I'm amped up. My blood's flowing on a Saturday night. I'll tell you that.
I've been waiting all day for Saturday night. I don't care what Carrie Underwood says on tomorrow night, but yeah, it's a big deal here. And I did see a couple comments here on the chat real quick before I update some injury situation. Jody on Facebook says, on long rest. The Titans have long rest because of the Thursday night matchup before the New Year's weekend against the Cowboys last NFL week, but the Jags played on Sunday, New Year's Day. So it's January 7th. So that's two games in the 7 days there. And so Mike Vrabel, as you mentioned, Zach,
is even longer rest, real quick, Austin, of how many people didn't play against the Cowboys,
that's true.
I mean, you talk about long rest. This is extra. This is 2 weeks. It was a mini bye week. Really.
Right. Yeah, actually, yeah, exactly. And that was where I was going to go next, because I'm going to list the Titans' inactive players tonight. Cornerback Devontae Harris, D lineman Naquan Jones, DB Mike Brown. That's it. That's the inactive list. And so you had a lot of guys who were questionable coming into tonight, like Amani Hooker, Christian Fulton, Traylon Burks was questionable. Nicholas Petit-Frere was questionable at right tackle, all playing. And then guys who've been battling injuries for the last couple of months of the season, and Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, and a couple others, they were just flat out removed from the injury report, had no injury designation, which is a big deal. So, yeah, now Trevor says, now list who's on IR. I mean, we know that the IR list has 23 players on it, and making a lot of money is the injury reserve list, and we understand that, but this is as healthy as the Titans could possibly be tonight, right? Like, Elijah Molden's not coming back. Mike Vrabel has been asked now for 3 weeks if David Long Jr. can come off of IR, and he did not. They did not designate him to return. They did not bring him back to practice, so he is not playing at all. But Dylan Cole's playing, who's been battling injury as well. So if they're not on IR and they're playing,
they're giving it a go. I mean, they got nothing to lose. This is all or nothing. I mean, this is the point in the season where you got to put everything aside. If you are able, your ass better be out there. And we're seeing that based on the injury report heading into tonight.
Well, I think Traylon Burks is a big one because Traylon Burks, practiced on Tuesday, which was a Wednesday. Then he goes out there, talks to the media Wednesday before practice, then gets out there. A to Z Sports, Sam Phelan had a video of Burks catching a pass from Josh Dobbs in that Wednesday practice. He came up limited with a groin. It looks like he got hurt or tweaked something in that with his groin in Wednesday's practice. And then when they did not practice on Thursday, the last practice of the week, and Mike Vrabel said they held him out, but Traylon Burks is giving it a go. And this offense has to score a lot of points, Zach, because 14 points is the max they've had the last 3 games, and they've got to have more than that because your stat from a couple days ago, the Jags are averaging how many points per game in their 4-game win streak?
31.5.
Yeah, that's a lot more than 14.
Titans haven't scored 30 points in a single solitary game all season. That's right. There it is. I mean, we know what the Titans want to do, but we also know what the Titans have to do, and that's prevent the Jags from gaining a lead, continuing that lead, and scoring a lot of points. The Titans just can't keep up. That's not how this team is built, especially of all the things that we just talked about in the last 60 seconds with the injuries and who they're playing with.
Absolutely. And the Jags have been literally, this is not an exaggeration. This is just true. The Jags are literally the healthiest team in the NFL and have been all season long. If you go through the, man games missed Twitter, the Jacksonville Jaguars have had the least amount of games missed by injury the entire season, and it's not even close to who is second on that. So let's get to this, Zach, because there's a lot of different topics and questions to dive into this here on the Buddy Allen Carpet One Nashville pregame show. What is the single most important thing for the Titans going into this game against the Jags? What is the single most important thing for the Titans going into this game against the Jags? This is the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show, and Buddy Allen Carpet One, they are your full service flooring experts. They're locally owned and operated and have been for over 55 years. Zach, you know this, as we own our own company. 55 years, a family owned company, that means you're pretty damn good at what you do. And Buddy Allen Carpet One is absolutely that. You can see the Allen family with Zach, Jen, and Judson Allen in the store every day. You just go to BuddyAllenCarpet1Nashville.com to see what they have to offer. They give you free in-home measures and estimates every time they come to your home, and they are a full service flooring company. That means you save money because you get the experienced flooring work done by Buddy Allen's professional certified installers. You save money with their great product. It's the best of both worlds. That only can happen in Nashville, right here in the surrounding area at Buddy Allen Carpet One Nashville.com. So Zach, I'll send you to the chat. What is the single most important thing for the Titans to do going into this game against the Jags tonight? A win and in. A winner is the AFC South champ. So what's the chat saying here to get us off?
I'm going to say one comment. I'm going to have to go back to it because it is my one factor. So kudos to this person that we are aligned in what our answer is. Let's see. And Rooney says Henry has no sleeves. We'll find out if the fumbling issue. 0 turnovers from Tighten Up Ohio. Better play calling from Josh. Time of possession from Kendrick. Play calling again from City of Troy. Actively fragrant discipline. You've got
let's pause on that. Let's pause on discipline because that's massive. Because discipline is multifaceted, right? It's don't have a false start when you're going for it on 4th down, Dennis Daly. Don't have a bad pass interference penalty, Trey Avery or Greg Maben or whoever it might be, because Dak Prescott throws up a prayer 50 yards down the field on 3rd and 19. So discipline is a big one there from that commenter.
Yes, Chandler says the secondary, no turnovers coming in from Carlos and Charlie B. No turnovers from Pauly D. James says no turnovers. Brad says control the clock. Butchie says trust Dobbs, which is the first answer that has to do with Josh Dobbs starting tonight. No turnovers from Roberto. The defense from Jay Woods. No turnovers from Kedrick. You've got limit dumb penalties as you talk about discipline from Clayton Smith. No turnovers from COS 66, turnovers and extended drives, no turnovers. So, I mean, this is overwhelmingly no turnovers. And, in big games, we always say this in playoff games, in any sport, you turn the football over, you hurt your team's opportunity and chance to win. I mean, that is factual. So, bravo to the chat. They got that right. I'm going to go with Jonathan's comment, though, because it is my answer to this question, which is what's the most the single most important thing for the Titans going into this game. And I do believe Jonathan is correct. The Titans cannot get behind early because that will completely take away what we know they want to do. And that's Derrick Henry. Yeah. It's the exact recipe that we saw in Nashville when the Jags came to town. They got up early. They never looked back. And it was too much for the Titans to do in the second half. And it completely takes 22 either off the field or not utilized, right? Because now the only thing that you can do with Derrick Henry in the plastic game is like throw a screen. And sometimes that works, but sometimes continuously it won't. And so cannot get behind early. I agree with you, Jonathan, there in the comment. That I think is huge. They need to keep the momentum, not swing to one side. They've got to keep this a Titans football game, which this Titans football game is run the football, control the clock, and play good defense. This needs to be a slug it out 17-14, 17-20 type of game for the Titans to win. So you cannot get down 2 scores heading into the second half or heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's, instrumental for the Titans is to play their type of game. That is an absolute big deal for the Titans to win, play their game and have it go by their script, dictate how the game goes and getting a fast start, which the irony, Zach, is that we've seen this team, now the players have changed, but earlier in the season, they were great to kick off games, right? Opening drives were resulting in touchdowns way more often than not. Now, a lot has changed because the quarterback's out. The offensive line is just completely different for the most part since, early October and before Halloween when they were doing that type of stuff. So, Zach, I think the easy answer is turnovers, right? Because the Titans lost the turnover battle -4 the first time these two teams played, even though they gained a bunch of yards. But I think here's mine. The Titans' biggest playmakers have to carry the team. You cannot allow or afford for your best playmakers who are healthy tonight to underperform.
Who are
and
those?
So, Zach, I knew you were going to ask that question because There are a bunch of them on IR, but there's a lot of guys who are considered playmakers for this team. And I'm focusing more on the defense. The Titans defense has to step the hell up and make plays and get after Trevor Lawrence. Because how many times was Trevor Lawrence sacked the first time they played? 0. So they have to get after him. Jeffrey Simmons is a playmaker. Danico Autry's a playmaker. Kevin Byard's a playmaker. Amani Hooker, Christian Fulton. There's 5 guys on defense who are legitimate playmakers in the NFL. All 5 of those guys have to play great. There's no excuse for all 5 to not play great. They have to make plays for their team because it's up to them. If you flip to the offensive side of the ball, there's a ton of pressure on Derrick Henry. We know that. The fumbling issues, the stress fracture, overcompensation type of issues, that cannot happen tonight. It simply cannot. He fumbled twice against the Jags the first game. He has to be perfect. And is that unfair? No, because he's Derrick Henry. He's a future Hall of Famer. Derrick Henry has to be perfect. Those 5 defensive players I mentioned have to be perfect. And by the way, Robert Woods is making over $10 million this year. He's got to carry his weight. Robert Woods can't fall down on 3rd down. Bobby Tree's got to catch the damn ball. And Treylon Burks needs to catch the damn ball too. He's out there playing. So I think those 8 guys that I listed, the 5 on defense, Henry, Woods, and Burks, those guys all have to have good games for the Titans to have a chance here.
What is the likeliness? And what you said, I don't think is crazy. I don't think it is wild to ask that of those type of players because we've seen it all from them
good
at
players
least one
have
time
to play
before.
Great. Yes.
What's the likeliness of that happening, right? I mean, with this team in the state of it is, you sit there and you say you're asking a lot from those guys. Austin, besides the Green Bay Packers game, which was their best game that they played, we have not seen the number of playmakers that you've just listed play good all up and down for 4 quarters.
Well, the Green Bay Packers game, you had Woods go for like 80, Burks go for 100, Derrick Henry ran for a touchdown, threw a touchdown pass, and then the defense was really good. And that was also the game that Danico Autry got hurt.
Yes.
And he got hurt and he left, and you thought the season was done. But again, like, I don't care. Like, this is it. Like, this is a playoff game. I don't care. I don't give a damn. It's all 8 of those guys, your best players, your good players have to play great. That's what why should we expect any differently? These are professional players. They have to go out there and earn that contract. And these are the big moments. Big time players make big plays in big moments. That's tonight.
Well, and I will say this, Todd Downing has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because this better be Todd Downing. If they lose, this should be his last game to call plays, to be a part of the Titans organization. And I'm calling it like I see it. Austin, you've been calling it for a long, long time. This is Todd Downing's last final hope to be the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans for one more game, to get one more game. And he has got to figure it out. He has got to figure out how to put Joshua Dobbs in good spots, roll him out, naked bootlegs, utilizing Derrick Henry in the play action, get guys downfield, let Dobbs set his feet. He cannot. And here's the hard part. Downing could be good, but the offensive line could be disastrous, and now it's a wash and it doesn't matter. You've got to protect Joshua Dobbs with the play calls, because God knows Dennis Daly and the guys up front are at times incapable to do that consistently.
Most of the time incapable.
Yeah. So, but Todd Downing, you got to have a good game from Downing. You can't have these head scratchers where and this is where Downing has struggled throughout the course of the year. He'll have those couple of series back to back that don't make any sense. And then they turn into 3 and outs. And those 3 and outs usually, and we've seen that, turn into points for the other team. And if points for the other team come to Jacksonville, you're not going to catch up. We talked about it. This is not a team that plays from behind very well. Nope. They don't have the horses. So you've got to really, the key word, one word to describe this game for the Titans is control. They have got to control it. And if they do that, then they've got a fighting chance. If they don't, man, they're going to be Floridians everywhere partying in the streets of Duval.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm glad you brought up Todd Downing because that's where I'm going to go next. And I'm going to use Todd Downing's words and hold him to them for who's got the good matchup today. So who's got the good matchup for this Titans game tonight, win and in, that is presented by Mr. Goodroof. MrGoodroof.com is where you need to go. Again, MrGoodroof.com. You can have them come out to your home for a free estimate on your roof. There's no sweat. There's nothing to lose for you having Mr. Goodroof to come out to check out your roof, especially we know the weather is crazy. Whenever you're coming out of inclement weather, that does a lot of damage to your roof. And we know the spring time and late winter in Nashville can get wild when it comes to weather. So make sure that your roof is ready to go to handle whatever might come up the next few months with the weather. So if you have MrGoodroof.com come out for a free estimate on your roof, you mentioned A to Z Sports, they will give you a $500 discount on a full roof replacement. That's just because you guys love A to Z Sports and we love you for it. But MrGoodroof.com, a free estimate on your house, right? Then no sweat. If you need something done, mention A to Z Sports for a $500 discount on a full roof replacement at MrGoodroof.com. Zach, who's got the goods tonight? Who's got the good matchup? Todd Downing said this week when he talked to the media that he knows he's got to get the football to two guys more, Chig Okonkwo, Treylon Burks. So I think Chig has the goods tonight. I think it can be a big night for Chig Okonkwo. If you're talking about doing what's best for Josh Dobbs, it's getting Dobbs on the perimeter where he can either run or drop an easy completion to Chig, who can make some moves happen with the ball in his hands after the catch. I think Chig is a good, nice player to look at tonight for the Titans, who can have a nice impact on this game. And if Chig can play well, hopefully that's a good compliment to Derrick Henry, because Derrick Henry's got to beat up on the Jags like he has for all of his career. But who's got the goods with MrGoodroof.com tonight is Chig Okonkwo.
Yeah, well, and Chig has got to be put in spots where Dobbs can get him the ball, right? Get it out quickly, because, if you're the Jaguars defense, you're going to be going after Dobbs. You're going to test a young quarterback in the sense of experience young that doesn't have a lot of playing time in the NFL. And you're going to put pressure on him to see if he can make quick decisions. We saw, and this is the reason why Malik Willis is not starting. And look, here's a quick question, Austin. Do we see Malik Willis, in your opinion, in any sort of package tonight? Yes or no?
I hope not. That's my
no, that's not what I asked.
I think there's a chance.
Your hopes and dreams were. I asked you, do you think we will see Malik Willis in any sort of package tonight for the Tennessee Titans offense?
I think there's a chance, because Mike Vrabel said that he's confident that Malik will do something to help them win this game. Mike Vrabel said that this week, that he is confident Malik Willis will do something to help them win Saturday. Well, it's Saturday, and we'll see what happens with Malik. I think there's a chance.
Well, we'll see if they do a merry-go-round play like the Chiefs just did in the previous game with Malik. But
I mean, look, that was kind of cool. And
if it wasn't for the hold, it would have been really cool.
You're sitting there thinking, like, this has to be illegal, right?
It definitely got my brain thinking. Yeah, but on that topic, trick plays. We've seen, what was the first play of the Jags game in Tennessee?
I don't remember. Was it the flea flicker?
Flea flicker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So they've set the tone that they are willing to do things like that. Look for a trick play tonight. That is what I am calling. I don't think it necessarily will have to do with Malik Willis, but look for some trickeration. This is the time that you pull that out and you try to steal points, steal field position, steal a portion of the game so you can control it. Chig's got to come up big. Also Treylon Burks, but I'm going to I'll kind of wrap that topic up. They cannot drop the football. You have to help Josh Dobbs, not hurt him. Josh Dobbs did not make the perfect throws against the Cowboys, but they were catchable balls. And Robert Woods and Treylon Burks had some massive drops. You gotta help 11.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I'm not talking about A.J. Brown. I'm talking about Joshua Dobbs. You got to help number 11.
All right. Look, I just saw a shot of Rashad Weaver, who is college teammates of DeMar Hamlin. A very emotional night for Weaver. The Titans and Jags met together at midfield to show the love for DeMar Hamlin. So a very emotional night for a lot of these guys. But Zach, it's on the line. The AFC South title and a home playoff game is on the line coming up here in about 5 minutes. It is time for us to give our official predictions on Titans Jags, presented by BetMGM. All you got to do, download the BetMGM app, use our code, which is ATOZ Sports, and you get a risk-free bet on pro football up to $1,000. Right now, Jacksonville is a 6.5-point favorite at BetMGM. So you can take the Titans plus 6.5. The money line price is pretty solid for Tennessee if you feel like it. But BetMGM has been presenting and sponsoring our pregame predictions all season long. So Zach, prediction time here. What do you got for Titans versus Jags with it all on the line?
All right. Kendrick says 23-17 Titans, 33-13 Titans. Tyler says 31-23 Titans. When are we going to get the Jags? 28-24 Titans. Titans 24-21. 24-17 Titans. This is not looking good. 20-17 Titans. 24-17. 21-17 Titans. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, it's Jacob. Jacob is the first person to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars, 30-13. Jags by 3 in overtime from Jody. That's a unique call. Billy says 24-16. Dotson goes 24-16 as well. 27-14 from Tones. Arthur says 24-17. Jags 24-17 from Phillip. 24-13 from Shrike. So a lot of this very similar type of scores here. I want to say this.
What percentage do you think would pick the Titans in the chat?
85.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 80. Good Lord.
The Titans can win this football game. If you sat there and said the Titans win in a close game, 24-23, I would say, wow, that's Mike Vrabel, pulling it out. Josh Dobbs must have played good enough, not turned the football over, and Derrick Henry probably ran wild. I just don't think that at this point in time in the season that they have enough to win this game. And I think the Jags are playing very good football. I do think that one thing is in the Titans' favor, which is, I think, an ultimate outlier, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise and the players haven't been in this situation, right? They're rarely the favorite. They're rare. I mean, they're picked 6.5, 6, right around there. They're at home. All eyes are on Duval County, which nobody says, right? They're wearing the all teal. Like Trevor Lawrence, this is his first really big game, right? That we've sat actually and seen him play as a professional. He had a big game a couple weeks ago against the Cowboys when a lot of people were watching because that was a fight. But here's where I'm at. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are just going to score too many points for the Titans to keep up. My final prediction is 27-20. I don't think that the Titans can score enough points. 6.5 is the spread. I think that the Jags cover that by 1. I mean, I think Vegas, there's a reason why Vegas is Vegas.
Got all the tall buildings up there in Vegas. Yeah, right? For a reason.
Right. 27-20 Jacksonville. And we talked about it all week. It's kind of a win-win. If you lose, you win. If you win, you win, in my opinion. You get a top 10 pick or you go to the playoffs. 27-20 Jacksonville.
It's funny. If the Tighten Up podcast guys on the A to Z Pod Network, I think have made a lot of people believe, because I was surprised to see 80+% of the comments picking and predicting a Titans win. Zach, my prediction on my score prediction was actually going to be 28-21. So we were like right there in lockstep of what we think is going to be. I think the Jags do win. I think the Jags win the AFC South for the first time since 2017. I think the Titans go home and start their offseason a lot earlier than they had planned when they kicked off week 1 several months ago. So 28-21 is my final score. I think the Titans can score some points here, but
This
we'll
is
just
the most pressure Derrick Henry's had on his shoulders in a regular
no.
season game. Yeah. I mean, they don't
You
have
know,
anybody around him.
I mean, I guess with the nobody else is around him.
Yeah, that's the point. But here's the thing. We've all seen Derrick Henry take over games and win games for the Titans. It is like we have seen this before, but I just think it's going to be very difficult to pull off. But that's why they play the game. I mean, I'm excited. We could be wrong. I mean, that's the best part about prediction. It's a prediction. You don't know. I think, Austin, do you believe the Titans could win, can win,
absolutely.
have the ability,
yes,
right?
Absolutely they can win. Yeah, of course they can win. Crazy thing that happened in the chat here because you've got YouTube and Facebook and Twitch comments. You guys can't see cross platforms, but we can. But Josh on Facebook says, Weaver going to have 3 sacks, watch. And the very next comment in Zach and I's feed is Hot Doobie on YouTube says Weaver's going to have 3 sacks. So is Rashad Weaver going to ball out tonight for his college teammate, DeMar Hamlin? Who knows? But look.
Or are they the same people? Or they
could be, honestly. They could be the same person. But that was kind of
strange. A good way to get your comments read.
That's right. Just don't give anybody any ideas, Zach. All right, well, kickoff is about to happen. The Titans get the ball first, so we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching the Buddy Allen Carpet One pregame show. We will see you guys at halftime. Enjoy the first half. Appreciate it as always.